think so.
Yeah!
What's that?
Come on.
One night, two girls were inside a room in their home when a disturbing figure slowly peered in from the doorway.
Are you sure? I don't think so.
Yeah!
What's that?
Come on.
Up there! I told you, didn't I? I told you I seen something.
The girl holding the camera notices it and instinctively gives chase. But when she goes to where it was, the figure is no longer there. Instead, it is suddenly standing at the top of the staircase, as if it has moved there instantaneously. She lets out a scream, and both girls flee the house in blind panic. From outside, they turn back toward the house and see the figure watching them from a second-floor window.
Up there, see? What'd I say? Oh my god, what'd I say? Ah, it's gone! No, shush, no. No! No!
Seconds later, it appears again in a first-floor window, crossing the house at an impossible, inhuman speed. The video was uploaded on August 22, 2007, by a girl named Siani Mansell, who appears to be British based on her name and the accents heard in the footage. In the video's description, Siani claims that paranormal activity occurs frequently in the house. The apparition itself resembles a young girl with pale skin and long black hair. Her identity and the history of the house remain unknown. It's possible that she may have died there while the previous owners lived in the home. In April 2011, a routine survey was conducted within an underground sewer system believed to be the Victorian sewers beneath London. What was recorded during that inspection would later raise unsettling questions. The footage opens in a dim section of the tunnel when, without warning, something darts across the frame. Only a glimpse is visible, but the shape is disturbing. A low, fast-moving form with what appears to be a long, trailing tail, briefly evoking the silhouette of a small, predatory dinosaur. In another section of the sewer, a second creature is seen sprinting past the camera. Again, too fast to identify clearly. Later, deeper in the system, a faint white glow becomes briefly visible in the distance, hovering within the shadows of the tunnel. The scene then cuts to a different corridor. This time, a humanoid figure can be seen cautiously peering around a corner. Two bright, glowing white eyes stare directly toward the camera. The figure withdraws, then reappears, as if wary yet curious about whoever, or whatever, is watching it. At one moment, it steps further into view, revealing a long arm and an elongated leg. After a brief pause, the camera advances. Instantly, the figure retreats, vanishing behind the wall and never reappearing. Stories of strange beings inhabiting Britain's underground tunnels are far from new. For centuries, legends have circulated throughout the UK describing creatures that prowl the sewer systems. One such tale from the 1800s speaks of the Queen Rat, a monstrous entity said to dwell beneath London. According to folklore, she observed the Toshers, men who ventured into the sewers in search of coins, jewelry, and valuables buried in the toxic sludge. If the Queen Rat favored a Tosher, she would disguise herself as a beautiful woman and lure him into a quiet, shadowed corner. Her eyes, said to reflect light like an animal's, often went unnoticed in the darkness. If the encounter pleased her, the Tosher was rewarded with extraordinary luck. Valuable finds would become frequent, and she would mark him with a bite to the neck, protecting him from harm by other rats. But if he suspected her true nature or spoke of her to others, his fortune would turn. Many such men were said to drown in the tunnels or meet some other gruesome end. Another enduring legend tells of a pregnant black feral pig that wandered into the sewers beneath Hampstead in the 1800s. Sustaining itself on refuse and sewage, it gave birth deep within the maze of tunnels. The piglets, isolated from sunlight and shaped by generations of inbreeding, allegedly grew into enormous, aggressive black boars. Known as sewer swine, they were said to attack intruders who strayed too close, charging from the darkness without warning. Reports from the 19th century claim that some sewer workers even armed themselves out of fear of an encounter. Whether the figure captured in the 2011 footage was a mutant boar, the legendary queen rat, or something else entirely remains unknown. Whatever lurks beneath the streets of London, if anything at all, appears determined to stay hidden. On July 17, 2003, in Nebraska, a man named Stanley Romanek positioned a camera facing one of the windows in his home. He and his wife believed a peeping Tom had been watching their 2 teenage daughters, and they hoped the camera would confirm their suspicions. What the footage ultimately captured, however, was far more unsettling and entirely unexpected. Late that night, brief flashes of white light illuminate the area outside the window. Moments later, an alien slowly rises into view from below the windowsill and peers inside the house. It has gray skin and dark eyes that seem to blink. It scans the room for several seconds before abruptly ducking out of sight as Romanek approaches the window.
I think I saw the bastard. Oh man, what is that?
When he looks outside, he recoils in terror, claiming he saw something fleeing into the darkness. The video quickly became both bizarre and deeply controversial. Skeptics argue the figure is nothing more than an individual wearing an alien mask. Believers, however, point out that the windowsill was pretty high, approximately 8 feet above the ground, and that the apparent blinking of the eyes would be difficult to achieve with a simple mask. The incident was later investigated by Alejandro Rojas, the education director of MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, who stated that if it was a puppet, it would have to be an extremely elaborate and sophisticated one. After the recording, Romanek moved to Colorado and went on to appear on ABC News, Larry King Live, and Coast to Coast AM. He also appeared in a BBC documentary. Beyond the window footage, Romanek also recorded additional UFO sightings, some of which were reportedly witnessed by independent observers. He has also presented photographs of unexplained markings on his body, along with an account of a foreign object allegedly removed from his hip. According to Romanek, an X-ray revealed the object, and when it was extracted, he felt a powerful static-like shock that caused his leg to jerk. The object was described as white and fuzzy, though the fuzz melted upon exposure to oxygen. Under a black light, it glowed orange and retained the color even after the light was turned off. He later claimed microscopic examination revealed structures resembling tiny computer chips and gears. Romanek believes the object was an implant and that he was subjected to alien experimentation. He has also displayed what he claims is a leaked, top-secret government document dated February 2005 that references him by name and ominously states that he would soon receive a visitor. Adding to the mystery, Romanek says that when a camera he owned went missing for several days, it later contained close-up images of what appears to be a gray alien's head, featuring smooth skin, large black eyes, and a narrow slit for a mouth. Whether this is real or fake, believers point to this as evidence that we are not alone in the universe and that something out there is watching us. For more episodes, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for notifications.